Coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee, where dreams are made and fame is just a root scoot away. It's the Nashville Entertainment Weekly Show, the new show with your host, TJ Cates.
Hey, this is TJ Cates with Nashville Entertainment Weekly. We got a special episode. We're down in Memphis, Tennessee, my hometown. We're at the hometown of Elvis Presley, Graceland, the world famous Graceland. So, number 2 house in the nation for number of visitors per year. We're about to go and talk to George Klein in Memphis, Tennessee, Elvis's high school friend. We're going to get lots of information, and y'all just tune in and see what we got coming up in this episode. Hey, this is TJ Cates again with a special edition of Nashville Entertainment Weekly. We're here with Mr. George Klein, Mr. GK. How you doing, sir?
All right, TJ.
I like it that I see you doing that on your show all the time.
Yeah.
And we got to do it. I feel honored, man. That's
cool. Okay. I started that when I did the TV show in Memphis called Memphis Sounds about 9.5 years ago. I started doing that with my guests because it's easy to reach across the desk. And everybody thought I started it, but I stole it from baseball players. So.
Well, let's talk about let's go and jump right back to the beginning.
Okay.
How it all started. Before rock and roll, before tour buses, before airplanes, before Las Vegas was filling up, bringing rock stars out there for a week. How did it all start?
Well, it started in when Elvis, of course, obviously recorded That's All Right Mama for Sun Records. That was the beginning, and then it blossomed from that. But I met Elvis in the 8th grade at Humes High School, North Memphis. I mean, ironically, we're in the exact same classes, and our first class together was a music class. And we had a tough teacher, a real tough teacher, Miss Mormon, at Humes High. And the only way to get out of her class was to be in the high school marching band. So Elvis and I went down to audition. I don't know what he auditioned for because I don't think they had guitar players in high school bands, but I auditioned as a drummer, and I failed, and Elvis failed, so they threw us back into music class with Miss Mormon. We laughed about it many years later. Through high school, we became closer. He won our senior class talent show. I was the president of the senior class. We get out of Humes High School, and Elvis goes over to Sun Records and makes That's All Right Little Mama and kicks off rockabilly then. That's what it was called, became rock and roll. And I got into radio and television out of Memphis. And then there was a time in my life when a guy called me in one day. I had the number 1 ratings in Memphis. He said, "George, we don't think this rock and roll stuff's going to last." So what do you mean? He said,
is that what he said?
Yeah, he said, we think.
He may have been wrong.
He said, his name was Stan Torges. I'll never forget his name. He said, "We love you and everything. You got good numbers, but it just doesn't fit our format at the station." He said, "We think it's like Calypso and Mambo and Tango, it's a fad, it's going to go away."
Really?
So he let me go, and that very night I ran into Elvis. And Elvis said, "Why weren't you on the radio today?" And I told him, he laughed. He said, "Fad? Fad? We'll teach him what kind of fad it was. You're going with me." And I said, "Where are we going?" He said, "You're out of work." I said, "He said, well, not any longer." I said, "What am I doing?" He said, "You're working for me." And I said, "Where are we going to go?" He said, "Well, we went to Canada, all across America, his first big North American tour. We went into Hollywood, made the movie Jailhouse Rock, did a Christmas album. I was with him on that. Then we went to Hawaii, came back, then he went down to New Orleans and made King Creole. Then he went in the Army, and I went back into radio and TV, and I started building my audience and my popularity back up, and did pretty good. When we got out of the Army, he wanted to work with him again, and I said, "Elvis, I got a TV show now." I said, "I'm hot once again. I just can't go on the road."
Yeah.
And Elvis said, "Well, it's okay. You got carte blanche. Anytime you want to go on the road with me, just call and jump on Lisa Marie and fly with us." I said, "Okay."
And that's the plane that's on Elvis Presley Boulevard.
It's out there right now. Yeah.
And that's the actual plane that you used to fly on.
Yeah, that is. Well, yeah, it sure is. But of course, he had the one that you see next to it, the Jetstar. We used that at first, and then it was too small, so he got the Lisa Marie.
I think it's incredible that you and Elvis, you invented the rock star life. I mean, he went and recorded his first demo, his first record. He made it. You got into radio. You're doing your thing, and then y'all merged it together, and then you started the traveling and the tours. I mean, that's just
that's true.
Everything everybody does now, it was your idea.
Well, I wish, but some other guys helped. Thanks a lot. Well, other guys helped a lot along the way. Dewey Phillips was pretty innovative. He was the first disc jockey to play an Elvis record, and bless his heart, he played Jerry Lee's music and Johnny Cash's, and he played all those black artists, Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley and James Brown. He was pretty sharp too with that.
Well, everybody was a big help, and that's what it takes is a collection of friends.
Right.
But there wasn't like that many people that were doing what you were doing back then. There was no internet, no cable. You couldn't really see what everybody was doing.
No, it was tough. In fact, radio was the big helper to those acts at that time, because if the jocks hadn't played those records, those guys wouldn't have been heard.
The cool thing about you is that you didn't just sit there and you're doing it the same way you did 50 years ago. I mean, you're staying with the times.
Yeah, you had to change with the times and adapt, and I was able to do that because I wasn't just one of those jocks who didn't have a professional sound room, and so I could change from one format to the other. Luckily doing that, and then the TV thing is powerful, TJ, as you know, and you get on TV, man, and it takes off like a rocket.
It does. Everybody needs a visual now. So
well, Elvis got his break on TV, actual radio. You know, he went up and he did those Jimmy and Tommy Dorsey shows. He did 6 of those and set the world on fire. And then here comes Steve Allen and Milton Berle, Ed Sullivan. But TV really broke Elvis big across America.
It did.
Yeah.
The girls went crazy. And the guys wanted to be him, and the girls wanted to be with him.
That's right. And TV is still strong.
It is.
Breaking a lot of acts, you know.
That's what I've noticed being in Nashville now, is the television, getting a music video made to put on YouTube, and then getting your video played on cable or different stations like that. It's good.
Yeah.
Hey, tell me about this book.
Okay, this book is, I really didn't want to write it, TJ. It's called Elvis, My Best Man, bestseller in America, Random House publisher. Came out about a year and a half ago. And the publisher came to me and said, I want you to write a book on Elvis. I said, man, you're crazy. There's 50 books on Elvis. He said, George, different concept.
Not with this guy.
And I said, thank you. And I said, they said, you can bring your own career into it. I said, well, now you got it.
Your career is amazing.
I got with Chuck Crisafulli, and it took us 2 years to write this book. And we worked real hard on it because we didn't want to offend anybody. It's like Priscilla Presley says on the cover, her quote is, you told your story with class, mister. Elvis will be proud. Priscilla Presley. And that's basically like that. Jerry Lee said, GK, from the beginning, you were there, and the book is all facts and things of that nature, you know.
And you just talk about these people that they're friends, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because everybody else sees them as somebody that's been portrayed in a movie or something like that, and you actually grew up with these guys.
I did, yeah. Wonderful memories, TJ. It just, I was just lucky to be in the right place at the right time.
And you're still here. You're still doing your thing.
Well, yeah. I'm still doing it, yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we are. We still have a local TV show in Memphis called Memphis Sounds with George Klein. And then I'm on SiriusXM Satellite Radio out of Graceland every Friday from 2 to 6 all across America and all across Canada. When I first went out there, TJ, 9.5, 10 years ago, to do that show at Graceland called George Klein Live from Elvis Presley Network, SiriusXM, we had 600,000 subscribers. You know how many we've got now? 25 million.
Oh my goodness.
25 million.
Did you hear that, Jeff?
It took off because they started putting SiriusXM radio in cars as a sample. And when it went away, people said, I got to have that, man. I get country, I get rock, I get blues.
Sirius is incredible.
And it took off like a jet. So I can get on that channel. I've got about 1 million listeners myself on that channel. Yeah.
That's great.
But I plugged my book real good on that.
Plug it all you want.
Still sells.
I think it's great.
And you got this one. I got a possible reality show happening called The Memphis Connection with George Klein. It's a different reality show, not like Kardashians.
I've done reality TV for True TV. Don't
you know what I'm talking
about? Yourself, yeah.
And then we've got another show that's going on YouTube called Memphis Sounds with George Klein. They'll have excerpts from my interviews on the Memphis television, like Jerry Lee Lewis and Sam the Sham and Sam Phillips and Willie Mitchell and Bobby Blue Bland. Some of these guys have passed, but these are classic interviews.
And Sam the Sham's still with us.
Yes,
I had the honor of meeting him about a year ago down on Beale Street.
Good guy.
Very good guy.
Very sharp guy. Won a Grammy for his liner notes. He's a really intelligent guy. In '65, he had the one record in the nation, Wooly Bully, knocked the Beatles off the charts. You know.
If I could sing, I'd sing it, but
I
can't. We talked about that. We're really good at talking, so we'll just be the talkers, and I'll leave the singing to somebody else. And Justin Timberlake, he's from Memphis, and we're proud of him. And he's doing the films, and he's doing the music, and he's entertaining everybody.
Justin's done a marvelous job representing our city, and he's doing wonderful. I'm proud of him.
I am too. Well, I'm proud of you. Thanks for letting us see your show, man.
TJ.
TJ,
TJ and GK. Huh?
That's right, buddy.
Take care of Nashville.
Well, thanks for tuning in to Nashville Entertainment Weekly with George Klein, GK, TJ. We'll see you next week.
Tell Larry Rogers and Buzz Case and I said hello.
I sure will.
Let's go.